Shalom, my brothers and sisters. I wanted to point out some things that I found interesting while reading the Bible and the lost book of Inky. I am only trying to connect the dots so everyone can really see what's really going on. A lot of things have been hidden from humanity, and I'm just revealing what's been hidden. All of this has to do with the return of Nibiru and the deliverance of the true Israelites. If you have read the Bible and believe in the Bible, then you know prophecy must be fulfilled. And maybe it may not be fulfilled in the way you think it should be fulfilled. We are living in a time where we are learning about advanced technology and extraterrestrial beings that exist in the universe. The Bible is a code, and only certain people will understand the message in the Bible. Prophecy is being fulfilled and all the trumpets are blowing simultaneously. You just have to pay attention to the signs. John, in the book of Revelations, described his visions the best way he knew how. He was seeing something that would happen in the future. Well, we are in that future, and things are not like it was when John was alive on this earth. A lot of things have changed since then, and the way that we describe things are totally different. We all use different words or terms to describe certain things that we see. And we also use a lot of symbolism. The ancients used a lot of symbolism as well. Sometimes when I have dreams and visions, it's hard to put in words, what I see or what I have experienced. But the Most High and His angels have helped me along my journey. And I had to learn some things pertaining to science and quantum physics. And it's all starting to come together and it's all making sense. I am coming forth with all of this information because it's now the appointed time. I was contacted by the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the year 2013. I remember the exact day, and it was early in the morning on the Sabbath day or on a Saturday, for those of you who are not aware. For so long, I was puzzled to how this contact was possible. It wasn't an ordinary dream or vision. I fell asleep on my couch. So when I woke up in the morning around 5 a.m. or around 6 a.m., I got up and went to my bed. When I fell asleep, suddenly darkness came over me. It was like I was halfway asleep. I was conscious and I was aware. And I heard a voice. I didn't see anything at all, but darkness was all around me. My body was in a state of paralysis. I heard a man's voice in the background, and immediately I said, "I can't hear you." I was like, "God, is that you?" Now, this was my inner voice that I was hearing. So as I, kept asking, is this God? The voice got louder and louder. Then I heard, "I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob." He told me to read Revelation chapter 9. And then I saw a vision of two men in a field prepared to go out. I immediately thought he was referring to the two witnesses. I was then guided to study the book of Revelations after I had that experience. I was already studying the Bible, but I couldn't quite understand the symbolism in the book of Revelation at the time. The God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob contacted me to let me know that He was watching over me and the children of Israel that were spread out to the four corners of the world. Most importantly, the Council of Nibiru, or the Anunnaki, has been watching all of the events in history that has been taking place throughout the whole world. Prophecy must be fulfilled, right? So things must happen at the appointed times. But I wondered why I was contacted. Through deep meditation, following my heart and my intuition, I figured that I had to be a descendant of the true Israelites in the Bible. I have received dreams and visions over the last 7 years, beginning in 2012, when I surrendered to Yeshua. I surrendered to love, and I decided to walk in the Spirit and do exactly what Yeshua has taught me, to keep the commandments. Matthew 22:36 through 40 states, "Teacher, which is the most important commandment in the law of Moses?" Yeshua replied, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself. The entire law and all the demands of the prophets are based on these two commandments." As I began to walk in love, a lot of things started to be revealed to me. My dreams showed the chariots returning from heaven and beings coming out of them that looked just like me. The men who came out of the chariots were tall, brown skinned, and they looked like very strong warriors. I knew this was the armies of heaven, and they descended in chariots. They came to deliver me, and they confirmed that this was the return of Yeshua. The crazy thing is, in the dream, there was a Caucasian male, and he knew that it was the return of Yeshua. Because when the warriors came out of their ships, they came running up to me through the door, and the Caucasian male, asked the beings who came out of the ship, was this the return of Yeshua? And they replied and said, yes. And they took me to go inside of the chariot, and they left that man behind. Okay. Now, when I was contacted through the Spirit, I thought about Abraham and his experience when he also fell into a deep sleep. He heard the voice of God, and a message was given to him. I actually wondered, if we had a similar experience. So let's go and check out Genesis. Genesis 15:12 through 14 states, "As the sun was going down, Abram fell into a deep sleep, and a terrifying darkness came down over him. Then the Lord said to Abram, 'You can be sure that your descendants will be strangers in a foreign land where they will be oppressed as slaves for 400 years. But I will punish the nation that enslaves them, and in the end, they will come away with great wealth.'" Clearly, you guys, this is talking about the slave trade event. The end of the 400-year prophecy ended last year. It was from 1619 to 2019. Okay. Then I was reminded of Moses' experience. Exodus 3:4 through 8 states,
"When the Lord saw Moses coming to take a closer look, God called to him from the middle of the bush, 'Moses, Moses, here I am.' Moses replied, 'Do not come any closer,' the Lord warned. 'Take off your sandals, for you are standing on holy ground. I am the God of your father, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob.' When Moses heard this, he covered his face because he was afraid to look at God. Then the Lord told him, 'I have certainly seen the oppression of my people in Egypt. I have heard their cries of distress because of their harsh slave drivers. Yes, I am aware of their suffering, so I have come down to rescue them from the power of the Egyptians and lead them out of Egypt into their own fertile and spacious land.'"
Exodus 3:14 through 17 states,
I am. God replied to Moses, "I am who I am. Say this to the people of Israel. I am has sent me to you. God also said to Moses, say this to the people of Israel. Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, the God of Isaac, and the God of Jacob, has sent me to you. This is my eternal name, my name to remember for all generations. Now go and call together all the elders of Israel. Tell them Yahweh, the God of your ancestors, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, has appeared to me. He told me, I have been watching closely, and I see how the Egyptians are treating you. I have promised to rescue you from your oppression in Egypt.
Clearly, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is here, and he is coming on chariots. And the whole world will witness this event when the appointed time arrives. Every eye shall see this in the sky. The world is not ready for this at all because most people are not aware of chariots or UFOs with advanced beings on them. More importantly, the world isn't prepared for black people to come off those chariots. This is going to shock most people in the world, especially racist people. We're going to see who love who at the end. The truth will be revealed, and you are going to be able to see people's true reaction. The truth is, many Caucasians have hated us, they have lied to us, they have mistreated us, and they have made us feel like we are nothing. Some of them have respect for us, and it's important to realize that all white people are not racist. That's the truth, regardless of what people may say. Many of them are very kind and loving and sweet and very understanding. As always, we must test the spirit. You will know the tree by its fruit. Okay? Now that I have gained so much knowledge and wisdom, the being who contacted me had to contact me from Nibiru or from the Chariot or from a mothership. Okay? In order to know the Anunnaki, you must understand them as a people and how they operate and how they send hidden messages. The Anunnaki being sounded like he was talking to me through some type of intercom system or something. In order for this being to contact me through the spirit, my third eye had to be open. Okay? The third eye or pineal gland is a cosmic antenna or a spiritual antenna. It's like you have a built-in, technology, within your avatar body or your physical body. Okay, you have the ability to pick up on signals or messages sent from other devices or higher dimensional beings, and you can also receive incoming images. Once the magnetite crystals in your brain vibrate, a vortex opens and you can enter into different states of reality. You can travel through dimensions and portals that lead to other worlds. There is much more to this. And if you want to know about this, then leave me a comment and maybe I can do a video. Okay, I have a lot of information pertaining to this, and I don't want to include all of that in this video. I understand that it's going to be hard for most people to understand the information that I'm giving them, but this stuff is true, okay? And I know that because I actually experienced it. Now, what I want to do is I want to read chapter 19 in the book of Revelations. Okay. Now, when the Spirit leads me, I follow. Okay. So we're going to go into Revelation chapter 19. And in this chapter, you will see that a great celebration is going on in heaven. And this heaven might be Nibiru. The reason why I say this is because the children of Israel are descendants of the planet Nibiru. We will get into the lost book of Inky so you can see exactly, what I mean. Revelation chapter 19.
After this, I heard what sounded like a vast crowd in heaven shouting, "Praise the Lord! Salvation and glory and power belong to our God. His judgments are true and just. He has punished the great prostitute who corrupted the earth with her immorality. He has avenged the murder of his servants." And again their voices rang out, "Praise the Lord! The smoke from that city ascends forever and ever." Then the 24 elders and the 4 living beings fell down and worshiped God, who was sitting on a throne. They cried out, "Amen, praise the Lord." And from the throne came a voice that said, "Praise our God, all his servants, all who fear him, from the least to the greatest." Then I heard again what sounded like the shout of a vast crowd or the roar of mighty ocean waves, or the crash of loud thunder. "Praise the Lord, for the Lord our God, the Almighty, reigns. Let us be glad and rejoice, and let us give honor to him. For the time has come for the wedding feast of the Lamb, and his bride has prepared herself. She has been given the finest of pure white linen to wear. For the fine linen represents the good deeds of God's holy people." And the angel said to me, "Write this, blessed are those who are invited to the wedding feast of the Lamb." And he added, "These are true words that come from God." Then I fell down at his feet to worship him, but he said, "No, don't worship me. I am a servant of God just like you and your brothers and sisters who testify about their faith in Jesus. Worship only God, for the essence of prophecy is to give a clear witness for Jesus." The rider on a white horse. Then I saw heaven open, and a white horse was standing there. Its rider was named Faithful and True, for he judges fairly and wages a righteous war. His eyes were like flames of fire, and on his head were many crowns. A name was written on him that no one understood except himself. He wore a robe dipped in blood, and his title was the Word of God. The armies of heaven, dressed in the finest of pure white linen, followed him on white horses. From his mouth came a sharp sword to strike down the nations. He will rule them with an iron rod. He will release the fierce wrath of God the Almighty like juice flowing from a winepress. On his robe at his thigh was written this title, King of all kings and Lord of all lords. Then I saw an angel standing in the sun, shouting to the vultures flying high in the sky, "Come, gather together for the great banquet God has prepared. Come and eat the flesh of kings, generals, and strong warriors, of horses and their riders, and of all humanity, both free and slave, small and great." Then I saw the beasts and the kings of the world and their armies gathered together to fight against the one sitting on the horse and his army. And the beast was captured, and with him the false prophet who did mighty miracles on behalf of the beast, miracles that deceived all who had accepted the mark of the beast and who worshipped his statue. Both the beast and his false prophet were thrown alive into the fiery lake of burning sulfur. Their entire army was killed by the sharp sword that came from the mouth of the one riding the white horse. And the vultures all gorged themselves on their dead bodies.
Okay. So in this chapter, you guys, in the beginning of the chapter, you see where there is a sons of victory in heaven, okay? Basically where righteous judgment is sent on the earth and people are celebrating, okay? Now, I personally believe this is like a vision of our star family actually celebrating when this kingdom come to an end, okay? And you will see, many people will be invited, to the wedding feast of the Lamb. I personally believe that this is really referring to the mothership. I really believe this is talking about the mothership that is coming to the earth. Many have been invited to this great feast that is going to happen, okay? I don't want to get too much into it, but I'm going to keep going because I don't want this video to be really long. But more in Revelation chapter 19, you will also see where the chariots come down. Okay, you see the rider on a horse. This is really talking about a chariot, okay? And those who followed him on the horse, these are other chariots that is coming. So this is the armies of heaven that are dressed in, pure white linen. This is talking about the righteousness of the beings that are coming. These are talking about benevolent beings, okay? These are not malevolent beings. These are not evil. These are not demons, devils. This is talking about pure-hearted beings, benevolent beings who rule in righteousness, okay? And they are coming here to bring order to this system and to this world, okay? And what they are going to do is gather up all of these people, which is talking about all of your, basically all of your wicked people, okay? All of the people who are currently in power. This is what's going on. They're going to round up all of these people who are on this planet who have been doing wickedly against humanity, and they are going to be judged. Okay, this is all what this is talking about. I know when you read it, it may sound a little strange or whatever about being thrown into the lake of fire and all this. This is really talking about the system. All of this, the false prophets is talking about all of these people in the world that has been ruling behind the scenes, who have been destroying Mother Earth, destroying her people, committing all types of crimes against humanity. This is what this is talking about. Okay. You already kind of see where all these people are stepping down. You guys, there are more things happening behind the scenes, and the Anunnaki is here. You're not going to see them, but this is some stuff that's going on behind the scenes. Okay. So anyway, like I said, I'm not going to get too much into that. So I'm going to keep going here. But I do want you to understand that the throne of God has been known as the planet Nibiru. Okay. If you read the scriptures, you will get more understanding about this, and you will understand where the judgment is actually coming from. The planet itself, in ancient times, has caused desolation to the land, and you can clearly see that throughout the scriptures in the Bible. Also, the beings on Nibiru execute righteous judgment. Okay, so they are the ones that sent from this planet, and they execute judgment on, the people on the earth. Okay, so this is what this is talking about in the Bible. Now, the High Council, okay, makes the decision and gives the order to the commander of the armies of Nibiru. Okay, I just want you to kind of understand all of this stuff. That's what's going on. So the rider is basically the pilot of the chariot. Okay, so the rider that is going to be coming here is like Yeshua. It's describing a righteous being that is going to come to the earth to carry out the plans of the Most High. This is what all of this stuff is talking about. It's going to be righteous beings who descend in chariots, and they are going to carry out the plans of the Most High. Okay. Now, there is a mothership, and I believe it is called New Jerusalem Mothership. Okay. You see this in the book of Revelation. You see this about the new heaven and the new earth. And you see where John saw the New Jerusalem coming down out of heaven. What else is going to come down out of heaven, you guys? This is talking about a mothership, okay? It is very large. It is like a city where a lot of people can, basically live inside of this big mothership, okay? It's that huge. Now, within this mothership that is in space, you guys, there are thousands upon thousands of chariots stationed on the mothership. Okay, so it's probably like millions of chariots, okay, that will be coming out of the mothership. I can give you an example, like in the movie Independence Day. Okay, so there are really a lot of hidden signs in these movies that we see. So, you have to have your third eye open open to be able to see the hidden messages in these movies that come out. Now, in this movie, in the last movie of Independence Day, one of the aliens actually sent out a call to the Queen, okay, to the mothership, okay, and the Queen came. Now, this Queen was like far off somewhere in the galaxy, somewhere really, really far, and then the Queen received the signal, received the message, okay. The Queen was like, look, I ain't playing no games. I am about to come. My people is there. So, boom. She stopped what she was doing and headed to the planet, okay? Y'all got to see what's really going on in this movie. So, I'ma just let you know this. The world, was not prepared, for the mothership to arrive, okay? They was not prepared, you guys, okay? So the governments were like so ignorant, okay, that they fired their weapons at the intelligence that came to warn them, but clearly, if we already know how the government is. But anyway, so in the movie Independence Day, now the governments kept the aliens in bondage, okay, in underground bases. Okay, well, I'm using this only as an example, you guys. Please use your third eye. Please see beyond what I'm trying to tell you so you can get the message. I'm just giving you this stuff in code, okay? Well, just like, just like the aliens who were in bondage, think about the aliens being like the children of Israel, okay? Think about them being in bondage, whatever. So at some point, we have to understand that, a mother's love for her children, like anybody out there who have kids, y'all understand, okay? So think about this. So the mother of Israel pretty much has been left out of the picture, for so long, we have to bring back the mother into all of this, y'all, because for so long, it's just been men ruling. It's just this whole patriarchy, this whole system that has been going on, and the women has always been left out. Okay, now I want to go into the book of Inky because I want to make a point. Okay, it was the mother of mankind, Nema. Okay, Nema is the mother of humanity. Okay, this is in the book, the Lost Book of Inky. Okay, I want to point something out that she said after the Great Flood. Okay, in the book of Inky, it said Nema, her necklace of crystals, a gift of Anu, touched and swore, on my oath, the annihilation of mankind shall never be repeated. I was actually guided to this, and I was like, I had to look deep into this thing, and I had to place myself in her shoes to understand how she felt. Okay, I had to really dig a little deeper to understand what did the mother feel when she saw all of her children getting destroyed by the Great Flood, and it was nothing that she could do. It was nothing that she could do, you guys, at that time, because it came very quickly. They didn't have a plan, okay, back then. So just imagine yourself, just sit there and imagine yourself. If you got kids yourself, put yourself in her shoes and say, well, if you see a disaster coming and it's like, okay, and you want to do everything to protect your kids, but you can't, it's nothing that you can do. Think about how the mother of humanity felt when she saw all of creation being destroyed in the Great Flood. Put yourself in her shoes, okay? Now, I want to read this to you. In Genesis, chapter 9, 8 through 17, then God told Noah and his sons, I hereby confirm my covenant with you and your descendants, and with all the animals that were on the boat with you, the birds, the livestock, and all the wild animals, every living creature on earth. Yes, I am confirming my covenant with you. Never again will flood waters kill all living creatures. Never again will a flood destroy the earth. Then God said, I am giving you a sign of my covenant with you and with all living creatures for all generations to come. I have placed my rainbow in the clouds. It is the sign of my covenant with you and with all the earth. When I send clouds over the earth, the rainbow will appear in the clouds. And I will remember my covenant with you and with all living creatures. Never again will the flood waters destroy all life. When I see the rainbow in the clouds, I will remember the eternal covenant between God and every living creature on earth. Then God said to Noah, yes, this rainbow is the sign of the covenant I am confirming with all the creatures on earth. Now we see God making a promise, okay? And now we know who is behind these promises. I just told you guys about Nema, how she made a promise that this would never happen again, that her children will not be destroyed again. And all of this happened because Nibiru was passing by. Nibiru is what caused the Great Flood, okay? Now, we have to understand this on a much higher level to what's really going on. The sign is the rainbow, you guys. It's the colors of the rainbow. If you have noticed, if you're looking or have been watching this video, you see in the background that I'm showing you guys, it's some colors that is flashing in the clouds. And have you noticed that these are rainbow colors? Are you noticing the colors that is flashing in the clouds? Could there be a chariot in the clouds like they said it would be? He said I would send clouds over the earth. We know, the children of Israel know, that the clouds is the chariots of the Most High. The children of Israel know his promise. The children of Israel know what sign to look out for. The children of Israel who have been doing the work should know about Nibiru. The children of Israel who have been doing the inner work should know all of this information by now. So I'm here to tell you guys what's going on because I've been doing the work. I've been doing the inner work. I've been studying this stuff. I've been given the dreams and the visions over the course of 7 years. The number 7. Isn't that interesting? Inky and Nema are your creators, you guys. They were the ones who created Adam and Eve. Okay, they were the ones who did the experiments. They were the ones who brought forth life on this planet. You could consider Inky as the father, and then you could see Nema representing the mother. Y'all have to understand this on a much higher level in order to receive this message that I'm giving you. The chariots are here and they are signaling us. They are giving us signs in the heavens. They are giving us signs in the clouds, you guys. And only those who are paying attention and who believe in the scriptures are, we're seeing the truth. We're seeing everything for what it really is. Only a select few will understand this message that I'm giving y'all, okay? But the Anunnaki, are returning. And they are returning, in ships or chariots, and they're in the clouds. Many people have been seeing all kinds of strange, cloud formations in the sky, and they've been also seeing rainbow colors too. They've been seeing the rainbow colors in the clouds. I'm telling y'all, there are ships cloaked in the clouds. Many people who don't understand how technology works, they have the technology to cloak their ships. Okay. Now, Inky and Nema came up with a plan. They came up with the plan of salvation for their descendants, and Yeshua was one of the chosen ones. A lot of people may not understand this, and I get it. I honestly get it, because everybody has been lied to. I was lied to. I had to research day and night, study, meditate, pray, fast. I had to do a lot of things to understand all of this information that I'm giving you guys. So I hope you guys take this serious. You can clearly see in the lost book of Inky that they were the ones who created humanity. They had DNA formulas of mankind. And I want to let you guys know that Inky also gave the DNA formulas to his father, Anu. So guess what that means, you guys? If they had this DNA formulas, I am sure that they took this information back to Nibiru and they started doing experiments on their planet. I believe there are people on Nibiru who look just like us. Yep. They look just like us, y'all. And I am sure that these beings on Nibiru were educated about, us. I'm sure that the beings gave them, the knowledge, gave them the truth. And let them know that their descendants are on the earth. I am sure that they came up with a plan to return to the earth. This was a promise. And I believe in God's promise. I don't know about you guys, but I do. Because a lot of things that they've showed me have come true. All of my dreams, everything that they showed me have come true today. And I see how they operate. Yes, they are operating behind the scenes. Yes, they may seem invisible, but they are there. They're in the clouds. They're in ships. So they are being sent to the earth, in chariots to pretty much rescue their people who have been enslaved on this earth. This is why everything is falling apart here. Prophecy is being fulfilled. I'm sure that the mother gave the command, because just like a father wants to protect his children, the mother also wants to protect her children, just like the lioness who protects her cubs. I was given a name, you guys, and my name was Athaliah. And Athaliah means lioness of God. So I am the lioness of the tribe of Judah, and I have been sent to the lost tribes of Israel. I had a dream in 2015, and a lion came up to me, and I already knew what time it was. I've had so many dreams, you guys, and now I'm understanding all of my dreams on a much higher level. There's always an appointed time for everything, and now I'm just beginning to see all of it unfold. Now I want to get into the lost book of Inky and show you some things on what happened after the great flood. What happened in the past shall happen again, but you must understand these things on a much higher level. In the lost book of Inky, there was a great banquet prepared for the king and queen of Nibiru. This is the account of when Anu, Inky, and Lil and Nima found out that they were angels or emissaries of the creator of all. So they pretty much was assigned, a mission. Okay, so they were like angels to us. Okay, they were supposed to guide us, to help us, to teach us. Okay, now they were guided. They were being guided by the creator of all. They believe in the creator of all. And you will see that in the lost book of Inky. So they believe too. They believe in the creator of all. They believe in a higher source, and they believe that they were angels that were to help us. Okay. Now, there are, for everything that exists in the higher heavens, exists in the physical world. So there are higher councils in the universe, and Galzu was a being in the Lost Book of Inky that stood out to me. Galzu was like a representative of a higher council operating behind the scenes that pretty much directed the destiny of humanity. Galzu was an Anunnaki that gave instructions to Inky on how to save humanity. He had instructions on how to build a submarine, and he gave it to Noah. A submarine can be submerged underwater. So you could see that by looking at the movie 2012, when they built those arks for the elite or the rich people in the world. There was advanced technology on this earth back in the day during the time of Noah, you guys. So you have to understand this on a much higher level. But I believe that the message to save humanity came from higher beings, from Sirius A or from the Sirius star system. I believe the people of Nibiru are descendants from the Sirius star system. I believe my people are scattered out all over the whole universe. That's what was revealed to me. Okay, but I want to get into the Lost Book of Inky so that you can kind of see yourself what is going on. Now, this is going to be a section in the Lost Book of Inky. It's going to be the 10th tablet. Okay, and you can do your own research, you guys, and you can pull this stuff up. It's online. You can get this information yourself, but we're going to read a section that's in this tablet.
A great banquet was for Anu and Antu prepared. For the sign in the heavens its start was awaiting. On Enlil's instructions, Zumul, who in matters of stars and planets was learned, the steps of the house of Anu ascended, the rising of the planets at each time to announce. On the first step, Kishar in the eastern skies appeared. Lahamu, or the second step, was seen. Mumu on the third step was announced. Anshar by the fourth step rose. Lamu on the fifth step was seen. The moon from the sixth step was announced. Then on a signal from Zumul, the hymn, the planet of Anu in the skies rises, began to be sung. For from the topmost step, the seventh, the red haloed Nibiru into view came.
Okay, I'm going to stop him there. Now, I want you guys to follow along with this. They was going to be celebrating, okay, at the sign of Nibiru in the sky. I need y'all to put this stuff together, okay? It was going to appear in the sky, and this is when the great banquet was going to begin. And they were going to start, pretty much dancing and celebrating and all of that. So you will see this here.
To the music, Anuki clapped and danced. To music, they danced and sang. To the one who grows bright, the heavenly planet of the Lord Anu, they sang. On the signal, a bonfire was lit, seen from place to place where the bonfire started. Before the night was over, the whole land of Eden was with bonfires lit. After a meal of bull meat and ram meat, of fish and fowl, with wine and beer, accompanied Anu and Antu. To their overnight quarters were accompanied. By Anu and Antu were all the Anunnaki thanked. For several earth days and nights, Anu and Antu slept. On the sixth day, his two sons and daughter Anu summoned. Of what had on earth transpired, their accounts he heard. Of the peace and the warfare he learned.
Okay, I want to stop him there. Now, I want to mention something here. If you're not aware, Anu and Antu are actually the king and the queen of Nibiru. They came to the earth, okay? So they were on Nibiru, but they came here to the earth. I want to make that very clear. And also, Anu was basically hearing about what happened on the earth. So it was basically like, they was about to tell him like, hey, what happened, he was trying to catch him up, letting him know what was going on. So you're going to see this here. So yeah.
Of how the earthlings by the oath of Enlil to be wiped off had again proliferated Anu heard. Of the gold discovery in the land beyond the oceans and the chariots placed there, Enlil to him revealed. It was then that of the dream and the tablet from Gazu, Inky to his father told. By that was Anu greatly puzzled. A secret emissary by that name to earth by me was never sent. So did Anu to the three leaders say. Puzzled were Inky and Enlil, baffled they at each other looked. On account of Gazu, Zushurda and the seed of life were saved.
Here we have the account of Anu finding out that Gazu was sent to the earth and gave Inky a message, but Anu never sent Gazu. So they were all like, well, who is this Gazu person who gave us these instructions to pretty much save Noah? Okay, Noah is this Zizusha person. Sorry, I might be saying it wrong, but he was the one. Gazu was the one who gave the instructions to Inky to save Noah. Okay, so they were all kind of like, well, Anu like, well, I didn't send Gazu. So it's like, well, who gave the command to send him? So this is why I wanted to tell you guys that Gazu is a representative of a higher council, okay? You have to have your third eye open to see this, okay? He was from Nibiru. He was an Anunnaki, but you have to understand, think about, you know what's going on the earth, but you don't know what's going on the planet of Nibiru. They had a whole bunch of people on Nibiru. Nibiru is a really, really big planet, and I'm sure they had, their little temples, and just like we have mystery schools and things like that. I am very sure that they have a lot of teachings and secret teachings and things like that as well. So I believe Gazu was basically in contact with higher beings, okay? And he was the one who was sent on a mission to give Inky, pretty much the message to save Noah, okay?
On account of Gazu, on earth we remained. Enlil to his father said, the day to Nibiru you return, you shall die. So did Gazu to us say. Incredulous of that was Anu. The change of cycles indeed havoc did cause. But with elixirs cured it was. Whose emissary, if not yours, was Gazu? Enki and Enlil in unison said. Who the earthlings to save wanted? Who on earth made us stay? Then Harsag, her head slowly nodded. For the creator of all did Gazu appear.
This is Nema. Her name actually changed throughout the text, but this is Nema. This is actually the mother of humanity, you guys. And she was like, the creator of all, pretty much made Gazu appear. Okay, so she noticed that something was going on as well. Okay, they were all told to stay on the earth. Okay, so they could have left the earth, but they stayed on the earth. Okay, they actually escaped in their chariots, and they were actually in the atmosphere of the earth, and they actually watched the actual flood happen, and they actually saw the destruction of humanity in the sky from their ships. Okay, but I'm only reading a certain section in the Bible. I mean, not in the Bible, but in the book of Inky. You have to read this for yourself, and you will see the bigger picture. I'm just trying to give you some of the information that I have read in this. And also, they have, elixirs that pretty much could heal them. So I want to make that point out. Those elixirs was like, they could live a very, very long time and they could be healed, okay?
Was the creation of the earthlings also destined? Of that I must wonder. For a while the four of them were silent, each one past events in his heart recounted. While fates were we decreed, the hand of destiny every step directed, so did Anu say. The will of the creator of all is clear to see. On earth and for the earthlings, only emissaries we are. The earth to the earthlings belongs, to preserve and advance them we were intended.
See, we see here from the king of Nibiru. He said the will of the creator is clear to see on earth and for earthlings, only emissaries we are. Okay, so they even mentioned themselves that they pretty much was just sent here on special missions. Okay, they knew their purpose. Okay, they found out what their purpose was. Okay, they found out what their mission was on the earth, and they were to pretty much, save, humanity, advance them, meaning teach humanity. That was their mission. Okay, so we're going to continue to read here.
The great Anunnaki, who the fates decree councils exchange regarding the lands, to create civilized regions, the great Anunnaki decided. Therein knowledge to mankind provide, cities of man to establish. Therein in sacred precincts abodes for the Anunnaki create. Kingship, as on Nibiru on earth establish. Crown and scepter to a chosen man give. By him the word of the Anunnaki to the people convey. Work and dexterity to enforce. In the sacred precincts a priesthood to establish. The Anunnaki as lofty lords to serve and worship. Secret knowledge to be taught. Civilizations to mankind convey. To create 4 regions, 3 for mankind, 1 restricted, the Anunnaki resolved. The first region in the olden Eden land to establish, for Enlil and his sons to dominate. The second region in the land of the 2 narrows thereafter to follow, for Inky and his sons to lord. The third region with the other 2 not mingling in a distant land to Inanna grant. The fourth region for the Anunnaki alone consecrated, the peninsula of the place of the chariots will be.
Okay, so here we see how they started after the great flood. The Anunnaki started to establish cities. They started to establish regions. Okay, it was one region for the Anunnaki. Okay, and I want to let you guys know all the research that I have done. The Sinai Peninsula was actually the region where the Anunnaki was set up at. Okay, this was in Africa, you guys. This was a spaceport center for the Chariots. This was like their, command center. This was where the Chariots were operating from. This is where all of the incoming ships were coming in at. They even used like the Great Pyramid as like a landing spot, kind of just like, how we set up things on the earth and we have an airport. Okay. It's the same thing. Okay. So, it's very important for everybody to understand that they were the ones to establish cities. Okay, they were the ones to build up civilization. Okay, and they taught the people. They gave them knowledge. Okay, now I'm going to tell you that some of the stuff that they did was not good. I could just tell you that right now. They had war within their own family, okay? So I could tell you right off the bat that they had some wars with each other because there was a lot of things that was going on based on succession and who was to rule and who was up next and all of this stuff. And this is what caused our people to fall. There was a lot of crazy stuff that was going on back in the day, okay? But I don't want to get too much into it, but I do want to let you guys know that there was a region that was set up and chariots were there, you guys. And just to let you know, people who know about Sodom and Gomorrah, I'm gonna let y'all know that it was actually a nuclear missile that destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. This had to do with the wars of the Anunnaki, you guys. It had to do with Marduk wanting control over the spaceport. And they made a decision that was not wise. And Inky even knew it. If you read the Lost Book of Inky, it could have been prevented. That did not have to happen. Okay? I can go so deep into all of this stuff, but I want y'all to know that if you do the research and you read and study for yourself, you will see the truth for yourself. Do not listen to these people out here because they're twisting the truth. They're not going to tell you the full truth. They're only going to let you see the bad side of the Anunnaki. They're not going to tell you all of the other stuff about the Anunnaki. They were the ones who taught humanity. They were the ones that gave us knowledge, y'all. And these wicked people in this world know that these beings were advanced and they had knowledge. And they stole our knowledge and tried to make it their own. So all of this stuff that you see in the world, it came from us. It came from our people. They stole all of our knowledge and they took it and they made it seem like they were the ones who created it. Like they were the ones who, invented all this stuff. No, they did not. They took all of our information and they corrupted it. So that's why I'm here to bring forward this information to let you know what's going on. They want to sit up here and call the Anunnaki demons and devils and all of this when they are the ones that's destroying the planet. Our people learned from their errors and mistakes. And we had to learn the hard way. We suffered greatly. Our people suffered greatly. We had to pay for all of the errors and the mistakes that we've caused on this planet. So just like karma came back to all of us, and you can see that with the slave trade, and you can see our people falling, we had to suffer greatly. We had to learn our lessons. So just like we had to learn our lessons and, receive our karma and our judgment, guess what? The wicked people in the world is going to also receive their karma, and they're going to also receive their judgment. So everything that was done to us, just know that karma returns. So they're not getting away with anything. So if you think for once, like, this is what they done to our ancestors, this is what they did, trust and believe that their day is coming. The wicked will be handled, okay? But it's going to be done in a righteous way, you guys. We are not evil. We are not wicked. We are not the ones sitting up here trying to poison people. We are not the ones sitting up here trying to destroy Mother Earth. Many of us are trying to return back to nature. Many of us are trying to heal ourselves. Many of us are trying to educate ourselves while they out here doing wickedly and lying and covering up things and killing people and committing all these crimes against humanity, poisoning us with our foods and stuff. They've been the ones that's been causing illnesses and diseases on this planet. They've been in their little labs and their laboratories creating this stuff. But they want to sit up here and say that the Anunnaki is demons and devils and all of this stuff, and want to call them the destroyers when they themselves have been destroying Mother Earth. So I just wanted to get this message out because the 400 years is over. And trust and believe your prayers have been heard. The Most High have been watching this whole time. Watching everything that has been going on this planet. So the Most High has heard your cries, has heard your prayers, have seen our people, have seen all of this stuff that's been going on this planet. So if you truly, honestly believe in the Bible and you truly believe that, Yeshua is going to return, and you believe that righteousness is coming, and you believe righteous judgment shall go forth in this land, then it's going to happen. It may not be when you think it's going to happen, but it's going to happen because prophecy will be fulfilled. And being that the 400-year prophecy is over, all I can say is it is finished. Those is the words from Yeshua. So I'm going to leave it there. And you see those blinking lights in the sky. You see those rainbow colors. So when you look up in the sky and you see those rainbow colors blinking, and you see these chariots and you see these colors in the sky, best believe that that is your sky family. That is our people in those chariots. Best believe that. We have ancestors with us in spirit, operating in the spiritual realms, that's been helping us, guiding us, protecting us from these evil forces and dark forces in this world. We have to be able to see beyond. I was able to do it. So it's time for our people to wake up. It's time for everybody to wake up. It's time for all of humanity to wake up. All races, all people. It's time to stop all this racism. It is really time for everybody to truly unite in love. Love is the true power, you guys. And Yeshua taught that. So if you want to run around here and hate one another, you want to hate your brother or sister, then just know that it's not going to be looking too good for you in the end. You need to set your soul free. Okay? Stop all this craziness. You need to return back to love. If you worship anything, you worship the power of love. That is the creator of all. Thank you so much for listening.